How do each of you start off a project, for instance? So when you get a piece of video, what is your methodology for coming up with what you do? Shawn, would you like to start?
Yeah, well, the first thing that I do is, first off, you meet with the director or the producers, and you start talking about what their vision is. It's their project. Hello? Yeah. So you talk about what their vision is for the project, 'cause it's their baby, so to speak. So you're going to meet with them, you're going to start talking about ideas, where they see it going, and then, of course, you want to put your spin on it. When it comes actually to writing, you have all that background of where you want to do, but when it actually gets to writing, for me, what I do is I don't like to actually watch it all that much. I like to be inspired by the picture. So I might watch it down once, and then when I come to it, the second time, I just start writing. It's the first thing that hits my head. And that's it. I mean, I literally just, and the way I hear things, I hear the complete piece at the same time. So I know what I'm going to do as I'm going. And it's just, because for me, your first instinct is always the best instinct. I mean, I think. I mean, you can mess with things, but also, too, when that's deadline-driven and stuff, you don't have time to think. So it's just like, it's kind of like playing, I grew up playing in bands and stuff, and he was a jazz musician and stuff like that, so it's kind of like improv. It's like, what inspires you? And that's...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, Chuck, would you like to elaborate on that?
Well, yeah. Well, in my position at Sony, it's more of a relationship between the composer, myself, and the team.
Yes.
But for what the vision is for the game that we're working on. And the example I show you here in Pain, which is the music track, I was hoping to have the video track, but have some technical problems with that. But it's a synergy between the composer, the music supervisor like myself, and the team's vision when it comes to putting the soundtrack, whatever it be, rock, orchestral, hip hop, whatever the style is.
Right, and we're going to get to hear that shortly. We need to play them in a certain order because it requires changing sample rates. But
I brought mine at 48K, so I'm screwing everything up. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. So
it's all right.
All right. Do either of you have anything to add about your process for starting a project? I'd really like to hear from you, Tim. And
sure. Well, I'd like to, go back to what Shawn said, and he likes to point out he doesn't think about what he's writing. I think that's good. That's why he's a success. That keeps it there. I think I handle a little bit more methodically when I get video. To me, the most important thing is the tempo of the piece. It's all about tempo. And watching a scene, depending on what it is, and you just feel how it's supposed to go, and then you start playing.
Exactly.
You kind of start playing and improvising, and then once you kind of get that down, then you start by, at least I do, I pick the big points, and then I adjust the tempo accordingly, a little bit faster, a little bit slower, so I can hit right on a downbeat when someone turns around and gets killed, or something that you got to hit really, really big. So that's about my way of working. It's a secret.
Right on. It's not a secret anymore.
Oops.
So, Pete, how about yourself?
Well, I find that sometimes I actually have video. What I like to do is I like to come on set. So what that means for me is that I commute from New York to Los Angeles to be on set, to walk around, to try to find out what's going on in this scene and how I could best communicate what it is that the writers of this piece wanted to. So if there's sorrow, then I want to communicate sorrow. If I don't want the music to be a hindrance to what is going on in the screen. That's why I keep talking about screen specific, because there's sometimes, like, if you I'm not going to name the film, but I'm just going to say that there was a film that I